Over the last few weeks, we've been taking this fence, tearing it down and trying to give new life to it all around the farm. A few weeks ago, we showed you how we made our chicken tractors. We're gonna put a board across. Nice enough so that I can just walk right in. Okay. And now today, we've got to get this garden ready before it's too late to get anything growing here. I really need to clean up my garden. It's been a hassle.
But it's not
a little extra watery, but oh my gosh, the paintbrush is gonna break. We live on a mountain. Super blinding. And just like that, we have an entire side. Hit subscribe and follow along as we create some raised garden beds to prepare for this year's growing season. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Good Time Holler. Sorry, it is so bright out here. I've got to, I don't know if everybody with light eyes has this issue, or maybe it's just everyone in general, or maybe my eyes have just been so used to sunglasses, but pull all that hair out of there. But my eyes have like the absolute worst time with the sun. That's why I have such, you know, all these fine defined lines going on my face, because I squint so much. The sun is just so bright, and then my house is a lighter color, so everything just kind of reflects in it, like super blinding. Anyway, I told you guys a couple of videos ago that I was going to show you how we made our garden beds. We actually have a ton more to make, so I figured I'd bring you guys along as I make them today. These garden beds are actually made from this fence. This fence has been a hassle. Just trying to put a fence up where we're at has been so hard. One, the ground, like we live on a mountain in the Ozarks, so the ground is so hard to penetrate into. It's like, let me just put it into perspective. We rented a post hole drill bit, like massive, that fits on the back of our tractor. I'll show you the tractor for reference here. This is a big Kubota tractor we got a couple of years ago. Anyway, we rented this massive drill to put holes into the ground so that way we could put the fence in. And when we returned it, they thought we were trying to drill into cement because of the look of it. And it's not that we were drilling into cement, because we're not. It's just the rock bed here is so hard. And here in Arkansas, everybody in this area will tell you we grow rocks. That's what we're really good at growing. So we plan on, because a storm destroyed the fence, we plan on utilizing as many of those little planks for as many projects as we can, and then we plan on putting in a new fence, which is pretty costly, so it's going to take us some time to get it in there. We did get a quote on getting it done a couple years ago, and they said $15,000, and there's no way. No way at all. That is just an insane amount of money to try to put in a fence. So we're going to do it ourselves for as cheap as possible. But we're going to utilize these panels to build our garden beds. We used them on this chicken tractor, and I plan on using them on more things. But we're going to get as many garden beds out of it as we can first, and anything left over then we'll do extra little fun things. So what we've been doing to give life back into some of these panels and to make sure that they're going to last us longer than they probably would this way is coating them in an outdoor waterproof paint that we had. It's the same paint that we used on our beehives, so It's actually a really safe paint to be using, or the safest that we could get. And we're just kind of painting as many of these as we can, both sides, to waterproof them a little bit better, and then we're gonna piece them all together. I have figured out that it takes about 9 of the little planks to create one bed, and I will have to measure to tell you how big these beds are, because I'm not 100% sure. I do know the planks are about just under 6 foot, so it'll be 6 foot by, I think I did 1 foot 10 wide, so just a little under 2 feet wide and just a little under 6 feet long is how big these beds are going to be. And we're going to make at least 18 of them. We decided to go 3 high. We thought about doing 4 high, but the higher they are, the more you have to fill them. So we decided to go with 3. So 6 of the boards are just going to stay the exact same. And then I cut 2 to be able to do the sides, because one board can cut into 3 pieces for each side. And then the last board is used to make little, I don't know what you would call them, but they're like a little brace to make sure they all stay together and don't flex too much. All right, I have all of my pieces cut. Whew. Stand behind the shade of this pole here. I have all of my pieces cut, and so I'm gonna take my 6 boards and attach the little brace pieces, or whatever you want to call them. And I'm gonna get it all started so that you guys can see how I put it all together. I actually am going to move them over to this old freezer that we have. I've been using it as a table until we get it out of here, but it's just an old freezer. I used to think that I couldn't do any of the woodwork because I've never had any kind of training or anything. And being a homesteader these past few years or so has really kind of opened my eyes to how many things that I can actually accomplish in my life. And hopefully this helps inspire those of you who don't think that you can do it, or think that because you don't have any previous schooling or anything like that as to how to build certain things. Hopefully this kind of gives you guys some insight that you don't have to have that schooling to learn how to do it. And if you put forth the effort and really try and have the proper tools, obviously, then anything is possible. I'm beginning to learn that the more challenges I give myself and the more tasks that I'm able to complete, the more I actually really do know and am capable of doing. So that's why I've been kind of sharing all of the different tasks and different projects, because we don't know what we're doing. We're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants, and you know, things sometimes work and sometimes they don't. Trying to teach the kids that you can do anything if you put your mind to it, and this is the start. I didn't know what I was doing with the chicken coop. I was just imagining what I could make and had the tools and made it work. And now these garden beds have turned out pretty good, the first couple that I built, so I'm just gonna keep building them and then we're gonna fill them up. So I didn't show you guys the saw I was using, but that's the matrix that I used in previous videos. This drill has the option for different attachments, and so I love this. It's like the perfect little handheld tool. And then I'm just using an impact drill and these same screws. They're our favorite, so just trying to use what we've got around here to make what we need. I'm having a heck of a time seeing the screen. Hang on a second. Get you sit down a little better here. It's so bright out here I can't see very well, but I just wanted to bring you a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. So this is one of our side pieces. It's 1 foot 10 inches long, and then I cut just a 16.5 inch piece this way so that it can brace all 3 boards together. I put a couple underneath it so that, because the screws do go just a little bit through, if you can get a 1 inch screw, then I would recommend doing it that way instead, or maybe 1.5. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, okay, yeah, just a 1 inch screw. I have 1.5 inches, and they go just a tiny bit through, but all I'm doing is tacking this on a piece of wood. And this project takes about 48 screws and 9 planks of wood to complete it. And just like that, we have an entire side. And this is what I mean, the screws kind of pop through just a little tiny bit. You can either get shorter screws or use a grinder and cut those pieces off. I'm just gonna leave them because I don't think it's gonna bother me too much. And that's it. All right, so we've got some built and we've got a lot more to do today, but I'm not going to bore you with the build of every single one of them. So here's what they ended up looking like. We did actually run out of paint, so some of them are not painted, but you gotta do what you can with what you've got. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.